The following podcast contains adult language, profound stupidity, hardcore nudity, and drug references. Children should not be listening to it. Everybody else can fuck a buck or rock off.
Nailed it.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Plotty Time, the podcast where we three gamers discuss video game stories in detail with all the necessary and appropriate backlash. My name is Poppascotch, and with me as always is Chump Slap.
Detail.
And Dr. Syintist.
Detail.
Good one. Thank you for the enthusiasm, Dr. Syintist. Appreciate it. So,
Anything you
Dr.
want,
Syintist, what have you been watching this week? What have you been playing? What's going on?
Well, I beat Secret of Mana, and then I saw Avengers, and it changed my life. And I played some Magic yesterday. That was about the whole week.
I don't know if Avengers changed my life.
You saw it though?
I liked it a lot. Did all of us see it?
I know about it.
I did. It was the greatest movie ever made. You can't deny that.
Okay. I mean, let's just not get into it. We'll save it for a later date because spoilers and such, we have to wait the appropriate month. But,
Well, this will come out 2 weeks from now.
That's still 2 weeks, not a month.
I don't think our listeners are going to.
No, you're probably right. But we might have to have a very special episode. I liked it a lot, but I don't know. I guess all my problems really lie with what is going to happen next. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they dug themselves a hole to progress from here. But, they could figure it out. I don't know.
No,
That's
it's the
not
end
really...
game. That's it.
That's the thing. It felt so final.
That's what it should have been.
Well, it was final for a couple of the characters, but
How many movies are in this fucking...
21.
Yeah, there's 21 movies
22.
already in it. How many do you need? No,
I'm right there with you, Chump Slap, but we already know and have seen marketing for the next Spider-Man movie, and we all know a second Black Panther's in production.
And there's going to be a Doctor Strange, too.
What else is going? Isn't there going to be? There's going to be a
Probably a Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
It's going to be another Captain Marvel. There's definitely going to be. There's a TV series they're working on with Bucky and what's his name? The guy with the wings.
Falcon.
There's going to be a TV series with them. So there's going to be I assume they're using the same people. There's going to be way more to the story.
Well, they did a couple years ago. They did Agent Carter, which tied into the movies for 2 seasons,
which was great. But that all took place in there's time questions, which I shouldn't.
You're already ruining it. You've got to cut this part out.
I shouldn't judge the future content based on the movie because they could tie it in really great, and I could end up eating my words. So
Yeah, well, if there's already,
It just makes too much money for them not to keep on making movies.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, but they got to stop.
I thought it'd be more of a reboot or an alternate universe thing or something where they could bring in new characters or new people to play the characters and then also spin off into other stuff.
Well, they can.
Couldn't they just make
That's true. I suppose they can.
every movie a different alternate universe and be like, okay, this is different now. This is Doctor Strange.
It's all going to keep continuing from where it left off.
Right. All right, well, anyway, Chump Slap, what have you been playing or watching?
I've been playing some more Sekiro. Fought this big headless ape. It's pretty cool.
Is it the one that throws shit at you?
Yeah, it was dumb. That part was dumb, but the fight was all right.
Pump the brakes real quick. So, this massive headless ape threw feces at you.
He has a head at first.
Yeah, at first he has a head.
Oh, okay.
And if you go behind him, he farts toxic gas. And if you get too far away from him, he shits in his hand and throws it at you.
That's why we play video games, people.
Exactly.
Okay. How big are we talking? 5 stories tall or Incredible Hulk tall? How tall?
I'd say Incredible Hulk. He's it's about 2 times as tall as a human.
We're not talking
massive.
The game where you fight all those things that are massive and the size of towns, and I'm hoping someone will save me.
You mean Shadow of the Colossus, one of the greatest games
That's the
ever made?
one. Colossi.
Or are you talking about Lords of Shadow 2?
Nope, Shadow of the Colossus. You nailed it because we just understand each other. Watching anything fun?
Oh, yeah. After I watched this cutscene movie, I watched Roadhouse. So I might get some things mixed up here.
Awesome. Did that just autoplay after this cutscene movie, or did you
I just-
willingly look out Roadhouse and go watch it?
I got tired of looking for movies, and I was just flipping through, and I was like, Roadhouse.
I'm glad to say I've never gotten tired. I'll just keep looking for them until I decide I'm just going to put Psych back on and then fall asleep.
Yeah, well, then you miss out these gems like
I
Roadhouse.
saw Roadhouse like 25 years ago. I don't need to see it again.
It's different strokes for different folks. But, what have I been doing? I played a little bit more of the Division 2. I didn't get to play as many video games this week as I'd like. Probably only did like 5 hours maybe.
Yeah, I didn't play much either.
Which is a bummer. Infinity War, or Endgame, which we discussed.
Did it change your life?
No.
It's one less
It was
movie
very
you have to
emotional,
watch.
though. I didn't expect it to be so emotional.
Wasn't it? How many times did the crowd erupt and almost destroy the theater when you watched it?
You know what? Did yours erupt? Because mine,
Well, I mean, like people cheered in when I saw it, like more than once.
I got a couple of audible gasps and a couple of yeah, but not like cheers or people.
Oh, I
freaking
mean,
out
like
or anything.
almost the entire theater cheered at one part, which you can cut out. But I'm not gonna say. I shouldn't say it anyway. It was in the last fight, but
That's pretty cool. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking
yeah.
about. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty great. But no, I don't remember any cheers. Maybe a couple claps. It was a lot of white people. So it was just claps.
Lame.
Nova for you. But any hoodles, what else did I do? I forgot to mention I did watch Infinity War to get in the mood for it.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
It was good. It was really good. I remember at the time watching it and saying, like, being a little disappointed because certain characters weren't on screen as much, but at the same time, it's like, well, they have to include everybody. You know what I mean? They can't.
Yeah.
And the people that got scrimped in the first one had a good second one, so except for all those characters that disappeared.
Well, I was much happier to see Tessa Thompson in this one since she wasn't in the first one at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Who the hell's that?
And her character's great.
Yeah, I know Valkyrie. She's Valkyrie in the movie. She was in Westworld.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, she's great. She's fantastic. And I almost forgot about her character until I saw like the thing. It's like Tessa Thompson's in it. I'm like, wait, what? Also, I had no idea that Proxima Midnight, one of the lackeys for Thanos.
Yeah. They didn't have much time in this movie.
The point is, I had no idea that was the actress Carrie Coon, who was in like The Leftovers, and she was in the one season of Fargo where she played the cop.
Okay, that's why I don't know her. I've never seen those.
Yeah, okay. She's fantastic, and I had no idea that was her, and it surprised me, and none of you guys know who that is, so,
So, yeah.
let's go ahead and move on.
It would surprise me too.
Went to AwesomeCon last couple days.
Oh snap! How was that?
It was pretty fun. I spent way too much money on shit I didn't need, but it was pretty great.
But it wasn't
Got
awesome.
No, it was awesome. I got
Okay.
myself couldn't find the right Riverdale shirt I wanted.
Oh my
but,
God, stop talking.
There's always
Start the game.
There's always next year. So, did you just quit the podcast? over
Yeah.
I think he took his headphones off and walked away.
that? Yeah.
Remember how he used to shit on Riverdale?
I don't know what the fuck. Oh,
do.
okay. Archie and Jughead.
Yeah.
You are aware that they redid the show and now it's on CW and it's all dark and edgy.
I am now.
Well, I'm not saying it's amazing, but you might want to check it out.
It is awesome.
But I mean, they had cast members at AwesomeCon, so by definition, the show's now awesome, right? That's how that math checks out, scientists.
That's how
Oh, yeah. That's the transitive property of awesomeness.
of the con.
All right, fantastic. You wrote a paper on that in college, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
His thesis.
Awesome. So,
You can major in Game Boy if you know how to bullshit.
yeah. I don't have any fun video game news this week. Anybody know of anything that happened?
War of the Spark came out. That's
Nothing.
video
really.
games? No.
I mean, Days Gone came out, but
I saw some gameplay of it, but it's not my thing.
What is that? Like a survival?
Yeah.
Survival horror.
Zombie game type.
Enough
it
of
looks
those.
like a mix of like Red Dead and a motorcycle and Last of Us.
Yeah.
Like that kind of family, you know?
Well, you threw the motorcycle in there, so I don't know. It might be good.
Well, apparently the thing people are bitching about now is you have to spend a lot of time like fixing your motorcycle
Oh.
to the point where it's kind of annoying to have to deal with it.
This guy I work with came in today. He's like, "Oh, I played some. What was it called?
Days Gone.
Days Gone." He's like, oh, the motorcycle sucks. He's like, it's way too sensitive. You can't even change the sensitivity.
Oh, wow. That blows. But that's patchable.
Yeah, it'll be patched soon.
Yeah, they can fix that later.
Yeah, it's no biggie.
That's the thing. Like basically what I've heard is that anything that's not good about the game could be patched or fixed later.
Well, I mean,
that's
true about almost any game.
Almost.
No, well, some things are so hideously broken they're unfixable.
Yeah, I don't see them fixing Fallout 76.
Yeah, exactly. There's some games are gone beyond the point of fixing.
Like this one.
Hey, this game's awesome.
Yeah, can't wait. Anyway, so how about we get into it? How about we start talking about our game of the week?
Oh, let's.
This game we're doing this week is the PlayStation 2 unarguable classic, Ratchet and Clank. It came out November 4th, 2002.
Ooh, that was a close one.
Yeah.
That was a close one, which means it was probably in development during, right?
Yeah.
They might
You
have.
think?
Yeah, they might have pushed it back a little bit because there was a big plane into building sequence that they had to take out.
Yeah. There's also
Just like that X-Files episode.
Yeah.
lots of shooting down like turrets, taking down spaceships and stuff, which could be triggering as well. So
It's true.
they had to probably push it back
Yeah,
here,
I'd
just
imagine
like
they
that.
did.
Anyway, so it was developed by Insomniac Games and published by Sony. So it's a first-party Sony game, technically, right?
Yeah.
That's what that means. It's sort of a platformer adventure type game, kind of like in the vein of like Crash Bandicoot style, but with cool weapons.
Yeah. Guns, all kinds of guns.
Is there a bunch of mini games in it and stuff too?
Sort of.
Like races and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, there's definitely hoverboard races and stuff like that. But anyway, Dr. Syintist, you're the one that picked this, so how about you give us a brief rundown of where we are before the game starts?
Well, Ratchet is on a planet he's stuck on, trying to fix his plane or ship to get off. And Clank is a robot, and he ends up on the planet, and you end up saving the universe.
Where is it? What planet is this?
Veldin. I didn't write down all the planets' names because it takes up too much space.
No, and at one point I totally bailed on writing down character names.
There's characters?
Well, the cut scene, usually, folks, to give you a little peek behind the curtain, we'll either watch we'll go to YouTube, like some real intense YouTube research, and watch cutscene movies so we can get an idea of the story. And sometimes Dr. Syintist or Mr. Chump Slap will watch speedruns or other stuff for maybe read some wikis, stuff like that. But the cutscene movie we got was a little, how do we put this? It was a little scattered because it's an open world game and you can go to different places and do different things. And sometimes you go to a place and the guy's like, bring back the fucking plumber glove and then I'll give you something for later. And you're not supposed to get it till way later in the game, that kind of thing. So the game was very stilted and I had a lot of trouble following what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, you probably would have been better off just reading a wiki.
Yeah.
Well, see, I did that, and then I felt like the wiki grossly oversimplified everything. Like I didn't get to that middle ground I can usually find myself at. It didn't work this week, but that's why we all looked at it instead of just one person.
Exactly.
So we start. My first question.
And nobody played this besides me, right?
No, I have not played it.
I played it like 4 times. It's one of my favorite franchises ever. But
Ooh.
I really liked. Before we get into the storylines, I really liked how Ratchet and Clank worked together. I really liked both of their personalities. Like honestly, it felt. I don't want to say it felt real to me, but I liked how they played off each other. I liked that Clank is essentially that like cold robot, like logical mind, but at the same time can quickly turn it around and have fun and like bust Ratchet's balls here and there.
yeah,
Like he knows he has like a lot of humanity to him. I really liked Clank. I liked Clank a lot.
I thought Clank had more humanity to him than Ratchet.
Yeah, Ratchet was very like moved by his emotions.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys think that's a fair assessment, but he like it's all about revenge for him, and it's not as much about doing the right thing until like Clank convinces him of all people
it's
to do
just,
the right thing.
Yeah, it's more personal for him.
One of the things I like about this franchise is that they make characters, even like ones you meet once or twice, just like kind of idiosyncratic.
It feels I got that too. It feels like a more complete or well-rounded universe.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the characters, you're like, which character was that? I don't even remember. Oh, it's like, oh, that's that guy with on the pier with the crazy cigar and accent.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that guy.
And that's the
Yeah,
hoverboard
absolutely.
guy who talks surfer like.
That's Squid McMarks.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I know what you're saying. It's like any time in future games, if they were to go back to those characters and expand on them a little bit, it'd be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like I remember him from the first game. He gave me a hoverboard. It was dope.
And even like the shopkeepers and stuff were all different.
They all have their own personalities. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. But let's get into the nitty gritty here. First thing I have a question about is I don't understand in this robot factory how they kept making these huge like death bots that were like massive. I don't know how like if they were 8 feet tall and Clank's like 1 foot tall. Like that's the size difference we're working with.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it pushes out a miniature robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a mistake.
I don't think he's a mistake.
Well, he's not.
Yeah.
But
Is there a fan theory that it wasn't a mistake?
well, when you meet his mother later in the game.
Which is the machine.
Yeah.
That's right, you do. I forgot about that. If we're willing to look past that silliness, let's just set that tone right now.
Well, I'm just saying the machine chose to make a smaller one with like compassion
Yeah.
to help save the world.
And then showed him
Multiple worlds.
it. And another thing, to get to new worlds, you have to find things called infobots. And then it lets you go to other planets. And that's what Clank gets. He gets the one that shows him what the main protagonist is gonna, or antagonist is gonna, his plan.
But it's more of like, it's not one of those games like open world games where you can go to anywhere in the entire galaxy whenever you want. It's
Yeah.
like you go to the infobot, then they're like, oh, we got to go there, and then it's available.
Yeah, you get like the first planet, you'll find like 3 places you can go, and you can go to either one.
Gotcha. But obviously, if it's not clear by now to you two gentlemen, I'm completely missed that part in the story. I remember watching the cutscene movie, and I remember him looking at a machine saying, "Goodbye, mother." And I think I actually made that one of my stupid quotes. But anyway, so once Clank gets born and he escapes and basically crash lands, or
Yeah.
lands on Veldin.
Well, he gets
Veldin?
shot down by the people chasing him.
By bigger robots.
Oh,
the
that's
bigger robots.
Yeah.
And he starts linking up with Ratchet because Ratchet, for some reason, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think Clank can start his ship.
Yeah. He's missing a part that Clank can.
Oh, okay.
So he needs a robot to start a ship, or there's a part that.
Well, he needs Clank to start his ship for him.
But I got the impression that, like you were saying, there was a part that he just didn't have. Like, presumably, if he did get that part, he wouldn't need Clank to start his ship anymore.
Yeah.
But since Clank's here, and coincidentally, that's the only part he needs, they team up.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only reason they team up.
Well, Clank shows him
At least to start, right?
when he's in the thing, he finds the infobot that shows him Blarg's plan to destroy planets and make his new home planet. And he shows it to Ratchet.
We see it very early on, just to throw this story point out there, that Drek is pitching to the people or telling everyone that their planet's poison and they need to go find other planets, and then they basically take over other planets.
Well, they're stealing parts from other planets, which ends up destroying them.
Yeah, it was the dumbest
Oh, that's
fucking
right.
thing ever.
Instead of
also-
just going to a planet and inhabiting it, they're stealing parts to make their own new planet, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that checks out.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fantastic story. I mean,
Yeah, you have to find all these exactly the same size planets and just take little parts off and just put them all together again.
yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess if you have the technology to design the perfect planet,
Yeah, might as well.
you want the most dope spots. You know, there's only a couple dope spots on Earth.
It's true. You take like the Hawaii's
3.
and shit. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take that part.
Yeah. That checks out. I did write in my notes just right after this point. So this is humans in like 4 generations, like just poisoning their own planet to the point where they need to build another one.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I assumed it was.
And I really liked how Captain Drek was wearing like the pinstripes and he's a pitchman. It reminded me of like the 80s villain archetype. You know what I mean? Like the guy who is going to close the community center and they're going to have to win the big race to get the funding or some bullshit like that.
Exactly.
He's like the stodgy business evil guy.
Yeah, Clank's originally trying to find Captain Quark, who's like a superhero for the galaxy. and he wants to talk to him to try and stop Drek.
And what's his deal? How do we normally see him, Scientists?
Do you mean in this game or all the other games?
Well, we're just talking about this game. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like, we'll have plenty of time to do all 95 other Ratchet and Clanks.
He's just like someone who saves people from things, and he's kind of famous. I always thought of him as like a Tick type character.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, he reminds me of the Tick.
Not exactly smart.
So is he like an actual superhero who has done superhero shit, or was he like a TV personality?
I think he's actually saved people.
And maybe he's a little bit...
Kind of more like Brannigan from Futurama.
Oh, okay.
That's what, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That's a good parallel.
So he's like a superhero on some planet?
Yeah, he travels around the solar systems and stuff.
Okay.
And when he's not superheroing, he's hawking every product that you can possibly approach him about.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single one of those little bots you fucking look at is either a direct message to you or a commercial for something.
Yeah, or a planet.
There were also cutscenes that happened between like Quark and Drek, or Drek on something else, where our main characters, Ratchet and Clank, didn't see any of that. I guess it's just to fill in the story, like make it more complete.
Yeah, it's like when you go to a new planet, it usually shows something that they're doing that you're not seeing.
Right. And the race is called, what are they called? The Blarg? Do I have that written down correctly?
Yeah, Drek leads the Blarg.
Drek leads the Blarg.
He's the chairman.
Hashtag Drek Blarg. 2020.
The supreme executive chairman of the Blarg
Yeah.
is Drek. Okay.
See, when I hear chairman or supreme, it doesn't scream to me elected official. Right?
Well, he's also leading it seems more of like a warrior aggressive race too.
That's true. And to his credit, he is getting shit done. They need a planet. Man's making a planet.
He's just taking pieces from other planets. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He has the means.
Maybe not completing this task in the healthiest or nicest of ways, but man's getting results. I'd vote for him if he was my president.
How else is he going to fucking make a planet? You got to take them from someone else.
Exactly. If there was an easier way to do it that could be done in time to save my entire fucking planet, maybe I'd do it that way, but I guess that's not in the cards.
No.
Or it's too expensive, whatever.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, so Clank and Ratchet leave the planet after they get to their ship and go off on a search for Quark.
Whose idea was it to find Quark?
Clank did.
I thought Clank came and he's like, do you know anybody who can help?
And
How about
points-
that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they go search for him.
Just sees a poster and he's like, that guy'll help.
And also, before we get too much, because the infobots are extremely important, they push the story along. So it's like the way of unlocking information, essentially.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally 100% fine with. The thing I'm not fine with is the fact that for some reason the infobots can just shrink to a minuscule size and crawl into Clank. Like, you guys saw that too, right? Like, that happened.
Yeah.
That was a thing that happened.
It just seems like they can manipulate, like, I don't know, mass and size and matter. Like, everyone has the ability to be an Ant-Man, or at least infobots do.
Yeah.
I think the infobots are made of a special material that allows them to do that.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not going to get hung up on it. We'll be here all day if I get hung up on the infobots.
Well,
I'm willing to accept the absurdity of it.
There is a shrink ray and shit and a growth ray.
Yeah.
So they have the technology, I guess.
I believe there's a weapon that turns enemies into ducks.
Stop it. You're turning me on. All right.
It's
Let's
either
take
ducks
it
or
easy.
sheep.
Ooh.
That's even worse. I got to get some cold water. Hold on.
Well, one of the things about this is that the weapons are ridiculous, and that's
the fun.
Yeah.
Like they're all just crazy ass weapons that do stupid
Well,
shit.
there's things like a shotgun equivalent or a rocket launcher, but there's also ones that turn enemies into sheep or throw out bouncing bombs that hit things and blow
I
up.
do vaguely remember there being, I don't think it was this game, but in one of the Ratchet and Clanks when they were promoting it, it was like a gun that turned everyone into chickens or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, you're never going to compete with a game like Call of Duty or something like that. They've got that market, so why not make it fucking fun? Let's turn people into chickens, you know? Let's do some crazy shit. Let's think outside the box here.
Yeah, we're talking
And,
like worms.
I always appreciate that.
Like worms weapons.
Yeah.
Which, more power to them. Anyway, so they're going to find Captain Quark, and I guess it's kind of difficult to say exactly where they go next, because there's only like 3 or 4 I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 actually story points you have to hit to like move the story along.
Yeah.
So let's talk about who I know. We were talking about this before the program, everybody. Chump Slap was telling us his favorite character that ever existed in any video game ever, Skid McMarks. What's his story, Chump Slap?
Well, he's a pro hoverboarder, and I believe he crashes on a planet that you just happen to be on, and you just find him there, or
Well, you find an info bot with his
his whereabouts.
his distress call.
Oh, okay. So then you go to help him because he's somehow related to Quark,
Well, they just go to get it.
just to help him out,
Yeah.
just to be a bro.
I don't remember what happened that brought them to that island. Was it the distress call?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't really matter. But you also find his agent who's separated, and his agent will give you something if you win a hoverboard race, right?
Well, yeah. At some point you have to visit Skid McMark so you can get the hoverboard because you need the hoverboard to go talk to Quark in the one planet because you have to win the race and he hands out the gifts.
It's like your classic
Fetch quest series.
unlockability type.
Yeah.
That's like unlockability type. Like maybe in the beginning of the game, you see something up on a wall with like this weird thing, and you're like, later on, you unlock the rope to climb up
Yeah.
it or some shit like that.
It's also at this point you can get the swing shot, which does a similar thing to that, what you just described.
Right. Right. That's right. It's like it's kind of like a grappling hook, I guess.
Yeah.
But you just get up and climb and stuff. But yeah, it's standard video game stuff. We get in the hoverboard race, we win the hoverboard race, and we get a brand new Z3000, by the way. I wrote that down.
You get that from Skid McMarks for helping him out.
And that's like the new hotness in hoverboards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And those hoverboard races suck to actually play.
are they hard?
They look fun, but I could see how you could very easily lose because it looked like the guy started losing when he didn't hit enough of those
Yeah, you
green
have to.
arrow fast forward things.
And there's also like skill points in the game that they give you, like random things you don't have to do. They're just for fun. And one of them is like beat those things in ridiculous time, and it's annoying.
Oh, yeah. Time trials are
yeah, they're
never a good thing.
But there's other stupid ones too, like shoot down birds with a sniper rifle and things like that throughout the game.
Right. Right. And I guess you have to meet Skid McMarts to get the hoverboard before you go to the racetrack and win the race for the agent. So it's sort of linear, but not really. It's kind of like side missions, I guess
Yeah.
you could call them.
You could end up going to the planet first and figuring out you have to go get the hoverboard.
Yeah, but then you have to win the race to meet Quark anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you win the race, and it's just a fucking video of him.
But that is one of our stops to get the hoverboard. What is another important stop for us, Dr. Scientist? What do you got?
Well, to go through the Quark fitness course and get the swing shot from the Russian lady robot.
That's after you meet Quark, right?
No, that's before.
Yeah, I guess we should focus on before we meet Quark stops.
Yeah.
Let's try to get some structure going, I guess.
All right. Yeah, I'm all.
We're doing our best, people. It's very all over the place.
It's also the planet you get the helipack from for Clank, where he can turn himself into a helicopter and you can float. And
Oh, the upgrade and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just referred to those as Inspector Gadget propellers
Yeah,
because that's exactly what it looks like.
and
Which,
it's so much
hey,
easier to write helipack.
It is. And I'm not complaining. I think it's awesome. I think we should have more Inspector Gadget in our everyday lives.
I wish I had an Inspector Gadget backpack like that.
Yeah, and these upgrades too, when they're offered to you or whatever, most of the time you can buy them from vendors or exchange for the bolts, which are the currency in the game, right?
Yeah.
It didn't look like there were many. Once you got into the game, like maybe the first couple were free, but after that you had to like buy or course people or whatever.
Yeah, it's just kind of a little grind sometimes you need to get them. It's kind of a little bit annoying thing I did. But
So when you're playing, were there any times where you needed an upgrade to move on with the game and you had to go grind bolts, or was it just there was enough currency where it didn't really matter?
there's enough current. It depends because you also use the bolts to buy like ammo and new weapons. So
Okay.
if you buy too many new weapons, you might have to grind a little bit.
Okay, so it's kind of up to you.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, but in the video I watched, it looked like the guy had way too many bolts all the time because it's like 2,000, and it showed his stack, and it was like 56,000.
He might have been playing like a New Game Plus.
Oh, there's a new game plus.
Yeah, you keep all your weapons and stuff from the previous thing and go through it again.
Do you have the ability or I guess the opportunity to run out of ammo
Yes.
And if you do run out of ammo, is there a melee weapon so you're not completely screwed?
It's a wrench.
Ooh, okay. That's all you had to say. Video game wrench quality. Gotcha. What else happens?
I think that's all that happens before you go to the planet where you have to enter the hoverboard race and wins, because Clark's supposed to hand out the trophy. And so you win it to try and get to meet him, because Clank still wants to talk to him about saving the world, universe.
Right. Okay, that kind of rings a bell.
And
tell me more.
Then you enter the hoverboard race and win. Oh, wait, no. I have this all jumbled up in my
Yeah,
list.
all right, here. This is where I'm at. You enter the hoverboard race. You win. You meet Quark he's on a fucking TV screen, and you win your prize, and he's like, hoo-hoo-hey.
Oh, that's right. He does like the congratulations for winning, Ratchet.
Yeah.
Like that other. Yeah, classic bit. But sorry, go ahead.
And then, I don't know if he's there, like
He's in like a trailer, kind of.
yeah, like a movie star trailer type thing. And you talk to the bodyguard. And this is,
Oh, that's
I
right,
have
yeah.
this specifically written down. The bodyguard tells you, I'll make like $6 bolts an hour. He's like,
Yep.
I ain't letting you in. I'll let you in for 4,000 bolts. 4,000 bolts at 6 bolts an hour. That's a long fucking time. That's a lot of money for this guy.
Yeah.
That's like
It makes a big difference in his life.
Yeah.
That's like if you made minimum wage ish, you'd be like, all right, I'll let you in to meet this celebrity here for like
10 grand.
$450,000. Like, it seemed a little high.
Yeah,
you
it
know
seemed
what I mean?
ridiculous. I was like, wow.
Right there with you.
But you want to see Quark.
Yeah, and apparently you're rich as fuck.
Yeah. And and in this world, this universe, money's just lying around or in the ground, and you can use a metal detector to find it, which I suppose is like our planet, but
Yeah, I'm sure you can find bolts.
yeah, for sure. There's also this moment here where they first meet Quark. Where does he send them? Doesn't he tell them? Did you say he has to win a hoverboard race now for him?
Yeah.
I thought he sent you to an obstacle course. He's like,
He
oh,
does.
you guys did it.
He wants you to go to his obstacle course because he wants to help you save the planets.
Yeah,
But
he's
you have
like,
to pass through his obstacle course first.
see if you're good enough to help him.
But isn't it kind of like super insulting to everyone else who like races hoverboards professionally that some asshole off the street got like the new hotness and technology and then beat everybody? Like,
I didn't do any research on the hoverboard scene.
Yeah, I didn't know if Ratchet used to like hoverboard back in the day.
Yeah.
And just like it was
maybe.
like riding a bike. I don't know.
But I mean, anybody could have bought it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like it's got some illegal mods that they don't allow in the circuit.
I'm sure it's like NASCAR where they check it afterwards.
Yeah, it's Skid McMark's personal.
You're sure it's like that? Okay.
He's the one who played the game.
That's true. You're right. You got that on me. You played the game.
It's the most boring part of the game, but you have to sit there and do it.
Right. And where do we go from here? What direction do we go from here, I should say?
Well, there's other various things you can do, like get grind boots and other various weapons and stuff. But eventually you end up at his headquarters to run through his obstacle course, which I remember being a huge pain in the ass in the game because it's easy to die.
Now, the obstacle course, what were some things you had to do there?
It's basically just running through and killing robots and stupid things like spinning fire things and turrets that shoot at you.
So it's like a castle level in Mario or something.
Sort of.
Not a dungeon, I guess.
No.
That's not the right term.
But I mean, there's long spots between checkpoints and stuff where you can heal yourself. And
That sounds like a pain in the ass.
yeah, it's a hard part of the game. It's not an easy game, but
It seems like it was in that era, like the Sly Cooper or like the Crash Bandicoots, where you look at the game and it's like cartoon. You're like, this is like for kids, and then you actually play it. You're like, wait, this is actually kind of hard. This is annoying.
Yeah, it's like a classic
One of those.
Nintendo
yeah,
platformer.
there's a huge difficulty spike between
Yeah.
things. Like you can fly through one world and the next one you have so much trouble at. But
Which that's
go ahead.
no. I have nothing important to add. You go ahead.
Well, you fight your way through the obstacle course and stuff, and you get to the end, and Quark's flying in a little helicopter. He's like, just step forward and we'll go to whatever.
Yeah, he's like, just walk. Just walk forward.
Something tells me he's not a great spy. Or double. What's the term here? Double crosser?
Yeah, something like that.
I guess.
Straight
Double
up jerk?
agent.
Double agent, sure.
But well, Clank in his robot infancy mentality is all gung ho, and Ratchet thinks that something's wrong, but Clank pulls him forward, and Quark drops him into a giant thing with fighting a monster.
It's a big trap to fight a goblin troll looking
Yeah.
thing.
Is this where he fights? I think they call it the Blargarian Snagglebeast.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Say that again?
Awesome.
Yeah. Well,
Blargarian Snagglebeast.
yeah, and Quark tells
Snagglebeast. Sorry, go ahead.
Quark tells you that he's the spokesman for the new planet, and that's and he knows that Ratchet's can kind of thwart their plans, I guess.
Which, now, I'm kind of just saying this part out loud because I want to make sure
That's
I
how you
have
say
this
everything,
right.
though.
That's fuck you. No, but like Quark is the spokesman for Drek. Like he's trying to sell Drek's vision, I guess we would say. So his best interest is in getting paid. So is he the biggest piece of shit in this game?
Well,
I think Drek's the
is
biggest
kind of
piece of shit.
Well,
Ratchet's up there too.
I think Clank's the only one that gets out clean.
Yeah,
But we'll come back to just
who are we going to compare these to? Kane and Lynch? I mean,
Yeah. Hey, if I remember properly, the fucking dude from Prototype wasn't exterminating planets to steal pieces of them.
No.
Just saying.
He didn't even kill the whole planet.
yeah, he wasn't even doing it for money, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're saying the pursuit of money is worse than just killing people?
Yes.
No, killing people in the pursuit of money is the worst.
But Quark's not killing anybody. He's just making money.
He's allowing it to happen, even though he could stop it easily.
Well, my problem with Quark is that he's only motivated by money. Like he doesn't give a fuck about all these deaths.
He's kind of like
at
Michael
all.
Jordan.
Exactly like, oh my God, I was just going to say that. It's exactly like Michael Jordan. Fucking flu game my ass. He was up all night gambling. We
Yeah.
all knew it.
And then he went out and pimped Nikes.
Allegedly. Allegedly. I learned if you just say allegedly after it, then you can't be sued.
Yeah, you're safe. It's not slander otherwise.
If you learn one thing from Jesus and Marrow.
I may have picked that up from Jesus. Anyway.
All right, hold on. So Quark, was he really a good guy? Or was he just this like superhero movie star, like
I think he's well.
Robert Downey Jr.?
I think you're
or
led to
something?
believe that he was at one point good, but now he's just all into it for the money.
That's what I got. Like, he at one point had this big event or whatever that made him famous and in the public eye is a good person.
Kind of like when Brannigan beat all the killbots.
Yes.
Then we all find out he's a fraud and he's just coasting on his image and trying to hawk stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
That
more
seems to be his sole motivation at this point.
I gotcha. He's just making cash because he fucking tripped over something and did something good. Got it.
Yeah, like the cream philosophy, if you recall.
Yeah, it does. Cash rules everything around me.
Cream, get the money.
I thought
Dollar bill.
I honestly thought you said Korean, and I was sitting here trying to think out what you meant. Like Korean philosophy.
Korean.
They're the same. Cash rules everything around them too.
Oh, good God. All right. But where do we go?
All right, so after you beat this troll, what happens?
You find an info bot that tells you a planet's being attacked by Drek, and you kind of go. There's another part where it splits up in a couple of different places you can go.
And does Drek has no idea who these two assholes are before the game starts, but you're going to like different planets, helping people out, clearing out Blargarians or whatever. Moon mice, I guess, was one of the enemies. Whatever. But you're going against Drek's plans, and he kind of gets wind of you, right?
Yeah.
Like this isn't.
He knows you're being a pain in his ass, basically.
Yeah, but you're not doing anything really. You're not stopping him.
Well, you are kind of stopping parts of it, but
You're throwing a monkey in the wrench.
yeah,
That's the saying.
it's what we say
Yeah.
at work, actually. But
Astley. You're right the first time.
yeah, never want to give you up. Never want to let you.
That checks out. And then I'm going to assume that at this point you get an infobot because that seems to be how everything gets moved
Yeah.
along.
Yes, exactly. And then you go to the resort planet to find O2 mask.
Yeah, and a thruster pack you get there. And you go to the poison planet and get magnet boots so you can walk on walls and stuff.
And wasn't there a planet where you help out some general that everyone bailed on him?
Yeah, you end up shooting down a bunch of stupid.
Oh yeah, it was like a fucking little asteroids game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of annoying.
Which, like, you shot down several spaceships. Like, you killed a lot of Blargarians. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, in Ratchet's eyes, Bulgarians they can use a little thinning out, if you know what I mean. Because
ooh, I hear you.
they're overpopulating their planet, and
I couldn't even finish it, even as a joke. Oh, mercy. Genocide. Yeah. Anyway.
that's the best.
So, he kills a lot of Blargarians throughout the whole game, and I would really love to see what the body count is at the end of this. Like, how many people are on one of them ships? Or are they all their robots? I have no idea.
Robots are alive in this, though, because
yeah.
Clank's a...
You saying Clank doesn't have a soul?
He's the most...
No, he's a fucking robot. Fuck him. Jesus doesn't give robots souls, guys. I don't know what we're thinking about here.
That's true.
Jesus doesn't give robots souls.
Yeah, that's in the Bible.
Hashtag.
It's in the back. Yeah. That's it. Ooh, I can't wait to see what traction we get with that one.
As much as
Like you
floorball.
type it in, it's like 95,000 public posts. Like, wait, what? People are using Jesus doesn't give robots soul? All right. I'm not up to what the kids are doing these days.
Yeah. Who the hell knows?
But going through finding random things, you eventually find... Clank finds a... Because sometimes Clank goes off by himself when Ratchet can't to get things.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a playable character at parts.
Yes.
There's times where you just like swap back and forth.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure in this game, but definitely in other ones.
There was definitely a part where it was Clank doing something.
Yeah, you might go and like step on a thing to open up something for
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
But he also gets where they found the perfect place to put their planet, and it's on the planet they started on.
Right.
And they're going to make a big gun and blow it out of the sky so they can move their new planet there. And Ratchet starts getting a little upset.
And it turns out to be Ratchet's planet, isn't it? His home planet.
Your planet you were on. Because he's the only Lombax in the universe, by the way, that they know of.
Oh, I was going to say, all right, what, he was a what?
A Lombax. I believe Dr. Seuss made it up. I don't know. No, it's just it's a fictional race.
Yeah, but you see how big his fucking hands are? His gloves are as big as his fucking pants.
You probably got a lot of shit about that in high school. Let's try to be a little bit more sensitive.
Oh, yeah.
Chump Slap?
Right. Oh, well, I don't think he's listening.
As far as he knows, his race is dead. Like, he's the only one. I don't know if they tell you that in this game or the second one, but
They definitely didn't go over what he was, what kind of anything he was.
No cultural history yet. But that's in the sequel. You're implying that's in the sequel. I can't wait. I can't wait to get more lineage on Ratchet.
and the Lombaxes.
I thought he was
And
a
the
dingo.
Lombaxes.
I thought he was a dingo or a dog or something.
This is based in reality. Dingoes don't talk, man.
Well, I thought somebody called him a
Yeah,
dog
it's
once.
real fucking based in reality. We're talking about blowing planets out of the sky and just replacing them with other planets.
Well, they talked about when he took the chunk off the one planet, how it just spun out of orbit into the sun.
Yeah.
That's science.
It is. It is.
But here's my question. What is exactly the thing that what's the thing that makes a consistent orbit? Is it the size of the planet? Is it the path it's on? Or what? How does this work, scientist? You know all about space.
Do we have time to go through gravity and
So it's
relativity?
gravity.
Yes, it's gravity.
Gravity's what's making it.
So they would basically have to replace the planet with a similar size planet.
Yes.
Okay.
But you're wondering why they didn't just use that planet.
That
was one of my questions. Yes.
Because it's not as perfect as the pieces of other planets they took.
He wanted trees and mountains and oceans.
Can we
and stuff.
just call it the All-Star planet?
All right. I can live with that.
Okay.
Eh.
Do you have some notes, Chump Slap?
I called it paradise.
Utopia.
Both of those are better than All-Star Planet, I guess. I know when I'm wrong, guys. You know, it's fine.
Hashtag all-star.
That's why we workshop stuff.
Hashtag All-Star Planet.
So what are some other things that happen in this weird, strange in-between times?
Well, you do find out that Drek is a little upset that Quark didn't finish off Ratchet and Clank, so he sends them back to get rid of them for good this time.
Yeah.
That's right. He did have acid. He just fed him to the beast and assumed everything would be taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the classic villain thing where he's like,
dead.
leave this guy to it. See you later. You're dead.
That's a classic Bond villain.
Yeah, exactly. And then they get out. Ooh, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, exactly. Ratchet seems to pretty easily take care of the Snaggle Beast.
Yeah, the bosses aren't very tough in this, except for the final one.
Okay, cool. And I was just gonna say, isn't there a moment where you do like a rail riding session with bombs on the tracks?
Yeah,
That's in
there's a
here
bunch
somewhere.
of those in the game.
Oh, okay.
You got like soap shoes. You guys remember soap
They're
shoes?
called grind boots.
It's
but
great. Soap shoes. Hashtag soap shoes. Let's go. We'll have to work and see if we can find that in the budget for the podcast to get us all some custom soap shoes.
yeah, but we can't get a fucking noise soundboard.
Yeah, soap shoes are probably a lot cheaper.
Are you sure?
They're
Yeah,
just
I
like
don't-
sandals with some plastic on the bottom. That's all we're budgeted for, guys. Sorry.
I do know there's skill points in the game for riding the rails without taking hits, which is a pain in the ass also.
What does skill points give you?
They unlock like cheats and alternate costumes that you can use later. If
Oh,
you
like
get a certain-
sexy costumes.
Yeah, like a naked Ratchet, or big head Ratchet and stuff like that.
Big hand Ratchet. Without the gloves. Ooh.
But they're just random things you don't have to do. But some of them are easy and some of them are a pain in the ass.
But it's like one of those things where if you want to go through the thing and unlock them, you can for funsies.
Yeah,
To make a more complete game, I should say.
yeah.
And there's also a moment where he gets a helmet. Ratchet gets a helmet.
Yeah, he gets a pilot helmet so he can fly fighters.
Was that the O2 helmet?
Then he gets the O2 mask.
Oh, those are different.
Yeah.
And was that I wrote down Joe Y Resort?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's like underwater segments too as well, right?
Yeah, but you also use the oxygen mask to go on the planet that's poison atmosphere and into space.
You get that fancy ass jet at the resort planet.
Yeah.
And there's also the plumber character. Who, let's talk about him for a second. He might be my favorite character. Because he's just like in the craziest places in the middle of war zones, and Ratchet even says, like, dude, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm fixing the turret. Like, it's my job,
just doing
son.
his
I show
job.
up and fix it. Like, that's what I do. And wasn't this the one planet where he's like, the locals have no idea how to use it. Can you just hop in this turret and kill a bunch of people?
Yeah.
Or it's like, yeah, no problem.
He's like, yeah, that's what I do. It's my job.
It's a very fun and casual and relaxed murdering scenario. Or war simulator, whichever you want to go with. Either way, a lot of blargs die.
I'm pretty sure blargs are subhuman.
Wow.
Wow.
You're going to have to cut
Okay.
That's a
that.
hot take. That's a hot take.
Okay. Well, we
There
know
goes our
where you're.
Blarg audience.
The Blargarians, we're gonna get letters, guys.
It's worth it.
At least we'll get one email.
At least they'll listen.
Yeah. That's so you get the air mask. What other shit? Wasn't there someone you had to get the what is it called, the Persuader?
Yeah.
I had
that
some
one.
questions about that. What was the point of that?
It just lowers the prices of like ammo and guns and stuff. There's a lot of stuff you don't need that you can get. And there's also the hydro displacer you get where you can suck water up from one place and put it in another.
Is that necessary to beat the game?
I believe that one is.
Like it's like a puzzling area
Yeah.
a little bit.
Well, you can't jump high enough. You need water to
Yeah.
swim up and shit. Yeah. Swim up, stupid.
Yeah, that was that guy. I remember that weirdo Fred was his name. I think I looked it up. Where he's like, I need raritanium. And he reminded me a little bit of the turtle from Sly Cooper.
Yeah, me too.
just like in personality.
Exactly.
I don't think he was as good at hacking because he was trying to use something called a persuader. But you know, what do I know?
Yeah, he wasn't as cocky either.
That's true. That fucking turtle had an attitude on him. What was his name? Squeaky?
Bentley.
That's it. I was
Oh,
really
wow.
close.
Squeaky.
It's close enough.
Was that culturally insensitive to turtles? Am I in the crosshair now?
I don't
Isn't
know.
there someone from like Greece whose name is Squeaky? I've never seen the movie, so I don't know.
There's a Frenchie.
Frenchie Squeaky.
That's a lot closer than Bentley, I guess.
Isn't there a Squeaky in Riverdale?
I have no idea why you're asking me that. Moving on. So then there's another infobot that tells you to go where?
Well, eventually you end up at like a moon base type place.
Wait. Or did we fight Quark again yet?
This is where you fight him
Okay.
the second time. And you have to like go through this moon base to get to the thing, and you end up on a fighter jet, and he's in a big jet, and you got to fight him like in
Asteroids.
asteroid belt, and he's shooting rockets at you. And
I didn't understand this part. Were there multiple fights with him, or is this the quote-unquote final fight with Quark?
this is the final fight with Quark.
Okay. Because you're in a spaceship, and you shoot him down, and you have to fight a bunch of other shit, but he just ejects, right, at the last moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, his plane crashes on a fucking planet, and he ejects off screen. You don't see it. You don't see where he goes.
Yeah. And then from
I thought-
here, go ahead.
I was just saying, I thought it was a little bit weird for pacing. Because I saw him as we were playing the game, or as I was watching the cutscene movie, as like the second in command almost. And this is probably like, what, 50, 60% through the game?
Yeah.
I'd say this is probably like 70.
Yeah. I'm saying 72 or 3.
73.7.
if we're gonna be actual about it.
I was thinking about 67% max, but you know.
It depends on which route you take, actually.
Yeah, true. I did stuff before this.
Good point. But
But I don't think he's like second in command. I think he's just a lackey for Drek.
He's just the fucking face of the new
Yeah.
planet. He's just his Hollywood.
He gets to pimp it out once
Yeah.
they get it put in place.
yeah, because at the time I was thinking since he was the big badass hero, it'd be more of a boss. But it does make sense, I guess, in the context of the story. That
Yeah,
he's
he's a
a
fucking
fight. He's a
phony.
boss fight, but he's not like the biggest badass in the world.
He's a phony.
A big fat phony.
Hey guys, look at the phony.
Is that Simpsons or Futurama?
I actually thought it was, I actually was thinking Rick and Morty, but I don't
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah,
Oh man, we're all over the place.
But now that you said Family Guy, I think it is Family
I
Guy.
think so. Hey guys, look at the phony.
Yeah.
Any hoodles.
So-
Yeah, that's yours.
Yeah, so-
Thanks, bro. Appreciate the solidarity. But you run into Quark again later.
yeah, well, after you fight him at that, it splits up again. You can go to different planets.
Oh, you run into him again?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that.
Oh, you must have been fooled by his guys.
Yeah, exactly. His
Probably
complete
was.
lack of wardrobe change.
Yeah. Where he pretended not to be Quark.
Yeah, he's like, my name's Steve.
I might have been thinking about Roadhouse at that point.
Well, it was just weird because, like you said, it was one of those things where you could go to like several different points to move the story along or do other stuff. And in the cutscene movie, you defeat Quark, and then immediately after, you run into him hawking a PDA. Like, it was weird, the juxtaposition, but that could have just been the path they took. But he gives you something called the Hollow Guys. What is that?
Well, he doesn't. He gives you the PDA. Someone else gives you the Hollow Guys.
Oh, the Hollow Guys? Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Please.
It disguises you as a robot so other robots think you're a robot.
Yeah, but when they're trying to sell it, it's like, become a robot to work on robot assembly lines.
And doesn't it say something like you can't actually, or you aren't actually a robot?
Yeah, it doesn't actually turn you into a robot.
It's just part of the humor of the game. that
Which
they
is
do
pretty
that.
great.
Yeah, that was just silly though.
That was fun, and that part was fun. And I remember specifically when Ratchet, I don't know if it was this, it might have been right around here, but he wins the hoverboard race and he becomes like the next Skid McMarks, which I mean that's what we're all trying to be, the next
Yeah.
Skid McMarks.
There's another planet with more races on where he wins that one.
Oh, snap.
But he the guy comes up to him, the agent, and tries to get him to record an ad, and he's all shitty and all over the place. And then Clank comes in and finishes it and nails it.
that smooth motherfucker Clank.
It was a great moment. I enjoyed the humor in that situation.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And he starts talking in like the vernacular of hoverboard racing, which in this universe is like surfer talk.
Yeah, he's only a couple days old and he only knows so many things.
He's picking it up fast, though, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's in this span where you can go back to Clank's home planet where he was made. Now that once you get the Hollow Guys, because the robots will think you're a robot.
Yeah, so this is where you meet Clank's mom.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Clank's mom, because it's possible I
missed that
completely
part?
missed that part. Yes, there's a chance. But what is Clank's mom, and how does this story work out?
Clank's mom's
I guess the AI running the robots thing.
like the screen next to the computer. Well, the computer that runs the fucking robot conveyor belt. It just pops up and says like, "Hello, son."
And he's like, Mom?
He's like, "Oh my god, it's my mom."
Yeah, I don't.
And she's like, "I'm proud of you because you're fucking saving the universe, even though all the planets have already been taken apart." And
Well, you've saved some of them.
how does he still get pieces for him?
I guess he takes them from other planets.
He just, yeah, he just
It's only you trying to stop him, so. If he's trying to take from two at the same time.
This AI seems extremely well informed on world events, by the way.
Well, she's making the robots that Drek is using for his conquest.
Oh,
that
makes
makes
a
so
lot more
much more
sense. Yeah.
sense now.
Okay. So Clank is essentially a defective Drekbot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's
Purposely
not really
defective.
defective, yeah.
Right, okay. But he is, yeah, okay. He's from the same factory. In an alternate universe, he could have been just any old Drekbot.
Yes.
Exactly.
Which I believe, Dr. Scientist, aren't you writing that fan fiction, that alternate universe timeline?
You were supposed to not say anything about that yet.
Oh,
it's not-
shit. Jumped the gun. We can cut it out. We'll cut it out.
Well, we got 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you run into another infobot. By the way, I'm not sure if you run into an infobot. Just every scene ends that way. So I'm kind of
I
using
don't-
it as our Mother Russia segue.
Is this where Clank's like, "Oh, I found an infobot," and it doesn't show you, and then he's like,
Well, he
"I-
finds it early. This is where he actually shows them.
I can't show it to
Yeah.
you." Oh, here you go. I'm Clank.
That's the one that shows he's going to destroy the planet that Ratchet
Well,
was on.
Veldin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. His home planet. Now it's personal,
Yeah.
which I
But
believe
it
is a
wasn't his
line
home
that he's...
planet.
No, but it was the planet he was on.
It's where all his shit is.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
And you have to go and try and stop the deplanetizer.
Which,
Yeah, so-
fantastic name. Totally on board. No notes. No notes at all.
That was amazing.
And you go through, well, you get to the final planet, and you go through and you fight Drek, and you turn the deplanetizer on the made-up planet.
After Drek crashes on it,
Yeah.
after you knock him to it,
And then boom.
and then you blow it up. You blow up the planet, even though he's already destroyed multiple planets to make that planet.
Yeah.
You just blow it up. You're like, fuck that, and fuck the other planets you fucked to get that planet.
Yeah, we're not going to put those pieces back, which seems plausible.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you could pull pieces off, you could put them back, right? Like, that seems
It's perfectly reasonable.
within the logic of the game. Sure.
Well, I mean, the planets may have been destroyed after they took that piece out.
Yeah, because they said if it was spinning and it got off axis and it just wobbled into the sun. I remember him saying that once, and I assume that's what happened to all planets.
Yeah.
Which, bummer. But, still, I see where you're getting at. It does seem like a waste of a perfectly good, completed planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he completed it the wrong place. And then it's like, oh, it's got to move over where this planet is.
Well, but if he would have put it in his quote-unquote right place, then he wouldn't have been able to keep it there while he built it, right? Like, the gravity would take it and put it in its own orbit and possibly pull it into the sun?
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Are all these planets in the same like solar system, or is it like a galaxy?
It's pretty much galaxy.
Okay, that's like us making a planet next to Mars and being like, oh, it would have been better if Mars wasn't here. Kill it.
Yeah.
But why, in Drek's mind, his science is all wrong here, scientist. Like, because
I don't know. They're a little bit more advanced than I understand.
But here's the thing. Why would he have to destroy Veldin to take its orbit? Couldn't he have just put the planet in the same orbit? But like at a different point than Veldin, you know what I mean? Like maybe it's summer on one end of the planet in Veldin.
Yeah.
And they're on
You're
the
saying,
opposite
like,
side.
Like 180 on the other side of the sun.
Exactly.
just, like,
the
rotate in the
opposite of
same-
their orbit. It would
I
have been
think
the
at this
same
part
orbit.
it's out of spite.
Yeah,
Maybe.
at this point, he's just so annoyed with you trying to fuck
Yeah.
his shit up. He's like, fuck you. Fuck your planet.
And then that's his downfall, hubris.
Yeah, it's everybody's downfall.
Well, yeah, after that, like right before you kill him, he tells he's, yeah, we're going to fuck that planet up too. And we're going to make another one. We're going to fuck
So
that
you can
up.
keep selling
Gonna
land
make
on it
another.
and making money.
Yeah, it's cash rules everything around Drek.
Yeah.
Creed.
Creed. Get the money.
And then after this fight, we get our favorite video game thing ever, the post-credit scene, which is just an advertisement with Quark, again, advertising the personal hygienator.
The hygienitor.
Oh, yeah.
Hygienitor. And then Ratchet and Clank are like, oh, that's gross. And then they shut off the holovision, and that's it. The reason I mention this, and it's pretty it's like a fun little moment for the end of the game, sure. But what I understand is clearly Drek has lost his cash cow, right?
and his life.
Yeah, well,
Well, Drek's been exploded.
Drek, sorry, I'm talking about Quark. Quark
Okay, yeah.
is still alive. He lost his cash cow. Which was his whole motivation for doing this in the first place, to protect his cheddar. So clearly he's doing all right. Like, he's still getting hired to hawk stuff. He's still surviving.
That's like hawking a Quip toothbrush after fucking hawking T-Mobile or something. You know what I mean?
I guess, but I don't think that, Quark realized the impact of his actions and how he could still get by.
no, he was worried more about the money.
Yeah, Quark was all about the money. He didn't care about other people.
He was brought down by his avarice.
Classic Quark.
Yeah, 2 lessons learned. Don't be hubris and avarice, bad things to do.
Yep,
true.
absolutely. That's the end of the game story. Are there any other moments in the middle that we just kind of glossed over? I did like the moment when they were on the general planet and Ratchet's like, dude, I don't want to do any of this. And Clank's like, what are you, a coward? And then he's like, ugh, fine. And then he helps out. I thought that was a neat moment when the robot calls him a pussy, basically.
Yeah, the robot was like Clank was like your conscience,
Yeah.
saying like, you should help these people.
And that's another interesting, because he says like several times, he's like, that's not the Ratchet I know, or that's not what
Yeah.
the Ratchet's doing the right. It's like, how the fuck do you know? Why do you trust Ratchet so much?
Well, I mean, it is is the first person he ever met. And he's known him for almost all of his life.
That's
All
a good
couple
point.
days or
Yeah.
weeks it's been. Yeah.
And he also, Ratchet didn't have to repair him.
No, he didn't. He could have left him there.
He's like, you must be pretty
Oh,
rad.
that was the fucking saddest thing, dude.
What?
When he's like, his arm's broken. He's like, fuck it. See you later, dude. Just walks away. I was like, are you serious? And then I wrote, fuck Ratchet. And then he walked back. I was like, no. He only did that because he was lonely himself. He didn't do it to help Clank.
Oh, you think it was...
He did it selfishly. Like he did everything in the fucking game.
I don't remember this moment at all. Was this in like the final fight or something?
After the final fight, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Clank's arm is broken.
It's just dangling there by a thread. And then Ratchet's like, oh man, your arm's fucked up. See you later. Just walks away. And then 2 seconds later, he comes back. He's like, I'll fix your arm. Come on, buddy.
No, he walks away. He's like, are you coming or what? And then
Yeah.
Clank's like, oh, and he trots off.
Which, good moment. Good characters. I liked their dynamic, like I said. I think it worked out really well to have, the quote-unquote hero character kind of have some trepidation and be like, I don't know if I want to do any of this. And then the robot of all things that has all the feelings that pulls him along for this journey.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And isn't there also like a moment where Ratchet's like, dude, I'm out of here. Fuck you. Like, I'm not doing this anymore later. And Clank's like, oh, well, he tries to convince him it doesn't work. And he's like, well, like, I control your fucking ship. Like, you can't get anywhere.
Yeah, he's like, you can't go anywhere unless I fucking...
Yeah, you guys do what I
Start
say
your
now.
And then he makes
He's
a
like, all right.
deal.
Yeah, he's like, I'll start your ship. You help me. Done.
Classic video game deals being made.
Oh, God,
You
well.
scratch my back, I'll give you whatever stupid MacGuffin you need to move on. Classic.
There is a secret weapon in this game that you can get. It's called a Rhino, which stands for Rip You a New One.
Nice.
And it shoots like a whole bunch of rockets out at one time.
Oh, I saw that. That guy used it. It seemed fucking overpowered.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's not easy to get, but
And I assume it's like an after post game weapon where if you're playing
you
through
can
it again.
you can get it like before the end game, but it's not easy
okay.
to do.
But it's kind of it's like a incentive to play through the game again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you play like the New Game Plus is harder and your weapons level up, and in New Game Plus they can level up again. Like you can get to the max in the first playthrough is like level 5. I'm not exactly sure how it worked in Ratchet 1. But then if you get that, you can buy a new version of it and it can level up to 10.
Right.
Or something like that. Or the levels increase if you play New Game Plus.
We did skip over one moment I want to bring back up because it was probably my second favorite moment in the game. It is when they first run into the plumber in the sewer pipe, and then he's talking, and then he just dives into the water and flies down the pipe. Like, well, see you later.
Yeah.
And they're like, did he just dive in there? Didn't they? I believe they did mention it like that.
Yeah.
He just dived in the sewer.
Yeah.
And then don't you do that later I think you come back to that store and jump down it at some point. But that was a fun moment. I love the plumber.
The plumber.
Not enough to know his name, but still.
No.
He's probably just the plumber.
I just get him, you know?
Yeah.
He speaks to the common man.
It's like we share a soul.
He's like the video game version of Joe Sixpack.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, just doing his blue-collar job, walking around.
Yeah, so any final thoughts anyone wants to add? We'll start with you, Syintist. Final thoughts. Would you play it, I guess, again? Did the story work for you, sir?
I like the story. It's a little ridiculousness. It doesn't take itself seriously. It's kind of comic relief at parts. Yeah, I'd play it again for probably the fourth time.
Now, I was a little confused about the release of this, because we're talking about the first one that ever came out on PS2, and it was released, it was released for PS3, kind of just upgraded a little, and did I read that there was also a new reboot of it?
Yeah, they released an HD remake of this, Going Commando and Up Your Arsenal, in an HD collection for the PS3. And then they released like PS Vita versions. And then they made a movie that was loosely based on this game. And then they made another game based on the movie.
There's an actual movie about this?
Yeah.
Animated? Funny?
I don't know if it ever was released. But the game that was based on the movie is similar to this, but not exactly the same story.
And then they made you said, they made a video game based on the movie.
Yeah. The movie based on the video game. I believe the selling point of the game
was that
it was a game based on a movie based on a game.
Oh, yeah. They did it just to be funny.
Got it. I get, that's on brand for them.
Yeah.
Having fun with it. So the story worked for you. What about your rating, man? Out of the obvious rating system of 27 stars, where do you put this?
I gave this 13. It was very good. It's high on my list so far.
I expected more from you.
There's other Ratchet and Clanks. I mean, they're better than this one. I can't set my stars too high and then get games better than that.
That's fair.
That's fair. So where would you put this in the canon of all the Ratchet and Clank games? Would you put it more towards the top, middle, bottom?
It would be the bottom. The other ones are much better.
Really?
Yes.
After they already have their attitudes and personalities.
Yeah, and with the better gameplays that can be put into it. And this
that
is
makes
almost
sense.
20 years old, so.
Yeah, this was right after 9/11. I don't think we were ready for it.
No.
No.
You're right.
We weren't ready yet for video games that got turned into movies that got turned into other video games. As a society, we weren't there. I mean,
we're barely there now.
It's only been done once. I mean, what can we do?
And they nailed it. They did it successfully. Just any day now, it's just going to start happening to every franchise.
Yep. There's going to be
the new Silent Hill game based on the Silent Hill movie, based on the Silent Hill game.
Or the Prince of Persia.
Or Assassin's Creed.
I think they do Prince of Persia?
Or Tomb Raider.
No, I think they did a game based on that. Maybe not.
I don't know. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. We're not sure.
Yeah. Gonna spend a lot of my time looking that up. What about you, Chump Slap? Final thoughts? Did the story work for you? Would you play it? Would you rate it?
I thought the story was dumb, but I mean, it works for what it is, for a platformer, open world-ish kind of thing. I liked it, but I don't know. Ratchet just rubbed me the wrong way the whole fucking time. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I'd give it. I gave it a 12. Gave it a 12 out of 27.
That's respectable.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. It's not my kind of game, really.
Fair. Would you play it? I guess that answers that, right?
I might play it if they ported it to an iPhone or something.
It probably is.
Maybe I can remote play it while I'm shitting. I don't know.
Because you should have. I mean, we obviously know this. I don't think our listeners are as hip as we are, but you should have that game that you remote play and take a shit. That has to be a very specific type of game.
Yeah, it seems like this one would be a good one, right?
I agree. This or Crash Team Racing, one of the two.
Oh shit!
What did you think, Poppascotch?
I all my complaints about it were mostly story-wise. All my complaints were because of the cutscene movie. I feel like had I sat through the whole thing and played it, it would have made a lot more sense and would have been like a lot cleaner
Probably, yeah.
as how it was presented.
It was hard to find a good one because apparently people didn't make cutscene movies 20 years ago.
Nerds, but I don't want to hold that against the game. So my rating, I'm just gonna go with Syintist. I'm gonna say 13 as well.
Ooh.
I really liked the dynamic of the characters. I could see how this could be very popular, and they could make more games out of it. Would I play it? I think maybe it actually makes me want to play the newer games. Like that style of game. It looks like a fun universe, and I kind of want to explore a little bit. So I wouldn't play this first one, but I might start off with the PS4 ones.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's like 9 of them through various iterations.
And there's so many new games I haven't played. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go back.
Yeah,
just
you
add a
want to
whole
go
new
back
9-game franchise.
18-year-old game now.
Well, now you have
Right.
the basis, and you can play the new ones and not be completely lost.
Right, perfect.
Yeah, you guys find any cool ass quotes in this one or what?
I have a couple. Do you guys have any? You have any, Chump Slap?
Yeah, I only got one. No, I got 2. Oh, here it is.
Let's hear
I think it's the plumber. His name was Al.
Oh, nice.
Because I have a quote that says, "If Al can't fix it, it ain't broke."
I
That's
think
a good one.
there's robot owls. Are you sure he's not talking
Oh,
about
it
that
could
owl?
have been the first Al that gave you the
Yeah.
jetpack or whatever. Damn it. All right. Well, the other quote I have is, this is from Drek when he's taking a part of a planet. He says, "Just because we don't need any more trees doesn't mean they should have them."
Nice. Very nice.
But yeah, that's all I got.
What do you got, Poppascotch?
I also have a plumber quote, which is probably my favorite. I did just look it up. Apparently, they refer to him as the mechanic, the plumber, or the janitor in like other games. Which it makes me happy that he's made it into the canon of the game, and oh Jesus Christ, he appears in 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 goddamn games.
There's 13 of these games?
There's probably like 7 or 8 main story ones, and there's a whole bunch of spin-offs.
Holy shit.
Awesome. That's more than I thought.
Yeah.
But he probably makes it in all of them.
Yeah.
When they're talking about the escape ships on the planet, Ratchet says to the plumber, this is when he fixes the turret and you got to use the turret. But Ratchet says, "So why aren't you on one?" Like to evacuate the planet. And the plumber says, "Socioeconomic disparity." Like that made me laugh. I didn't see
So
that coming
good.
from the plumber. And the other one
That's
of
your
my-
own biases that you can't see the plumber saying something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the problem, guys.
You ain't part of the solution.
I've proved that over and over. But the only other one I have is Clank when he sees the terminal and she shuts off and he's leaving. He goes, "I will try to make you proud, Mom."
Doesn't she say, "I am proud" when after he leaves?
After he leaves,
Yeah.
she might say like, "I already am proud" or something.
Adorable.
How did you catch that quote and not realize that his mom purposely made him?
I don't know. How I must have been, off in my own little world or too fucking high to register it. Either it's possible.
Both, maybe.
Yeah, could have
It
been.
could be. Just a combination.
He's thinking of Roadhouse.
Yeah, I just was flipping through stuff and I gave up, but he was thinking about it the whole time.
Probably the best Western bar bouncer centric movie out there.
Yeah, I couldn't think.
Name
of
another one, Scientist. I dare you.
Endgame.
Damn it, you're right.
Oh, Patrick Swayze's in it. Dalton.
That's going to take us to our favorite segment of every week.
Whoop,
Each
whoop.
week, we ask Dr. Scientist for a 100% guaranteed to win gambling pick of the week, and he has never gotten one wrong ever. So this
yet.
week, Scientist, who do you got?
I have Amsterdam over Hamburg. It's European Hockey League. Field hockey, not ice hockey.
Oh,
okay.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
yeah,
are you insane?
I can see a little confusion on your face there, but Amsterdam's giving 2, but they should cover that easy. Bet all your
Nice.
money, sell it all.
Yeah, you definitely want to take pretty much everything you have. Anything you might have picked up at a con this weekend that's actually useless, sell it take that money,
All the worthless War of the Spark cards you have, sell those.
Yeah.
sell that money, and then put it on
On who?
Amsterdam over Hamburg.
Amsterdam to beat Hamburg. I paid attention. I don't know what you're talking about. But, that takes us to our next segment.
Oh, no, it
which
doesn't.
is-
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it absolutely does. Our favorite segment of every week, Chump Slap's recommendation window, where every weekend we ask Chump Slap for a recommendation on whatever comes to my mind before I finish the end of this sentence.
What is your Chump Slap choice for War of the Spark card?
Perfect. What is Chump Slap's weekly recommendation for the
Best War of the Sparks card.
best War of the Sparks card?
Best or what? My favorite?
Yeah, we'll go with your favorite.
My favorite, I'd say.
I didn't think this was going to be hard for him.
I didn't think there were any good ones.
Tell you what, while you're thinking about it, I obviously know what a War of the Sparks card is. Why don't you explain it to us, scientists?
It's the newest set of Magic cards that was released. Well, it was supposed to be released next week, but we went to pre-release yesterday.
Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
Do you have to sign up or join an exclusive club to get the pre-release bullshit? Please tell me you do, and you're both assigned
You
to
just
it.
show up at... Oh, sure. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you got to know where a store is
You
and
can
go
show up there the day they have it.
at a specific hour.
We got ins there. They like us.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds a little complicated. I don't know, guys.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to go with Domri Anarchobolus.
It's a good one.
That's my jam. Domri Raid's the man.
Gruel.
Gruel for life.
Uncountable creature spells.
Well, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Whatever the fuck they just said.
Domri,
is
Anarch of Bolus.
That is my lock.
Sell your money and pick up Joel Markham Regolis cards. They're dope as fuck. I guarantee it. Well, that does it for this week. So, before I forget, sorry. Where can they find us, Dr. Scientist?
Well, I'm usually at home watching TV.
That address is
Perfect. Right next to the Sunoco. You guys know the one.
At Plotty Time, Instagram and Twitter.
Correct.
same as every week,
Snapchat,
dude.
maybe? I don't know.
One word, Plotty time.
Plotty time.
And then if they want to write us long form or send us recipes or tell you why your Lord of the Dark card is fucking bullshit, where would they email us?
Anarch of Bolus.
I know. Anarchobolus.
They can email Chump Slap himself at plottytime@gmail.com. You got any problems with Gruel or Domri? I'll fight you.
That's what
Yeah,
Gruel does.
bring it, losers. Yeah, you'll show them. Anyway, so that does it for us this week. So everybody take care and tune in next week because it's going to be super dope. Later.
Smell you later.
Peace.